Hey, everybody. This is Chris McCabe of e-commerce Chris. I'm here with Lee McHugh, also of e-commerce Chris, and I'm here with Clayton Atchison of Carbon6. We're here today to talk about PixelMe, one of the software tools offered by Carbon6. Clayton, how you doing?
Yeah, really good. It's been a busy summer, but I'm in St. Louis and no complaints. I've been great. How about you guys?
You, you've been going to St. Louis Cardinals games,
Yeah.
possibly?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm actually a big Cardinals fan. We're not having our strongest year, but we did just have like a 5-game winning streak not too long
Yep.
ago, but we need some help. We need some help.
It's okay. Boston Red Sox, same situation. So
Yeah.
we can turn the page on the baseball conversation, but I'm glad I guessed right that you were a St. Louis Cardinals fan. So that's good. And back to Pixel Me, can you crystallize it, chop it down to just a few sentences, just so I make sure I understand the best benefits it has to offer?
Of course. Yeah. So, I mean, PixelMe is a software that helps connect external ads with Amazon. So it's very useful for Amazon sellers. What we've seen, and we have 100 case studies now, is that Amazon loves external traffic, right? So they want everybody sending their traffic to Amazon, not to Shopify or their own
Hmm.
DTC site. And what we've seen is that they disproportionately reward external traffic with organic rank increase. So what Pixelme does is it connects via API to Google Ads, also Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, as well as TikTok. But where we're spending most of our time is on Google Ads. So it connects via Google or to Google Ads via API, as well
Hmm.
as Amazon attribution. So if you imagine running a Google ad where you're sending the traffic to Amazon, without Pixelme, it'd be kind of hard to like get the data and the analysis. How are those ads performing, right? You have data in Google, you have data in Amazon. What we do is we stitch that data together. So you can see
Okay.
things. How many add to carts did you have? How many purchases? What's your return on ad spend? And we overlay that in the dashboard with the organic ranking for the keywords that we target. We're very selective with the keywords we choose. They have to meet some criteria. And we follow those keywords over time to show and prove that the organic rank is increasing. And then we also have a team that goes through search query performance reports on the ASIN level, on the keyword level, to show you what your market share was before and after. We can calculate things like how much revenue was generated and profit was generated from that organic rank increase. So it doesn't stop just at, hey, you went from rank number 20 to number 7. People think that's cool, but they want to know, what does that mean in dollars and cents? And
Right.
so we pull that data out as well.
So what are the main things that are kind of going wrong when people don't use a tool like this? What are the main problems they see, mistakes they make? Is there like kind of a top one or two things that you see over and over recurring among people who aren't using tools like this?
I think most of Amazon sellers aren't running Google Ads in general. Some people are, of course, and in the past, before Amazon attribution existed, is kind of the same thing you have now, unless you're really technical and great at collating data in different Excel sheets, is visibility.
Mhm.
I have people that they aren't brand registered. They're a wholesaler, but they always have the buy box and they believe so much in external traffic. I tell them, hey, you don't have Amazon attribution, so we won't have any visibility. And they say, I don't care. I believe that external traffic increases rank. So I'm going to do it anyways. And I still just want to record how much we're spending and follow the rank and different stuff like that. But the biggest thing is visibility. If you're running Google ads and you have Amazon attribution tags in there, it can be finicky to create the links properly. And then to see what's happening on a keyword level, not just the
Right.
product, but hey, on this campaign versus that campaign, on this keyword versus that keyword. We make all that very easy. And if you don't use a service like us, it's just a lot of time. It's a lot of time to try to get the same insights.
Yeah, and I think previously people had tried using things like super URLs to try to like push things a certain way, which one, I don't even think that works anymore. And two, it's definitely not something that Amazon looks kindly upon. So it's nice to be able to track these things and target certain keywords within Amazon's terms of service rather than having to go through hacks, which may or may not work and will get you in trouble.
100%. And I've heard too, I know quite a few people in different groups online and people still try super URLs.
Yeah.
And what I've heard from multiple people is that aware of it, obviously, and that they're
Mhm.
actually punishing, Amazon
Yeah.
knows it's a link with a keyword embedded versus somebody actually doing an organic search on their website. So I've
Hmm.
seen that multiple people have told me that they think that super URLs now actually hurt your ranking, which would follow logically because they're telling you not to do it. And if they know you're doing it and trying to be clever, potentially they could hurt you. But I think definitely that if they're not hurting you, it's definitely not helping you, at least like it used to back in the day.
Yeah, well, and at one point they were suspending people for using super URLs. They don't really do that anymore, mostly again because I don't think they really work.
Yeah.
But Amazon is definitely aware of the use and they can definitely track that use. So much better to do
Sure.
it within terms of service and not lose ranking or even potentially lose the ASIN. I'm assuming you can retarget with this data as well on Google Ads, right?
It's a bold assumption, but
So
you're
I
right.
guess I did. Yeah, I sort of halfway through that, I was like,
We're here to be bold, Clayton. So
Um,
yeah.
no, she's right. She's
Mhm.
right. We're the only company that I'm aware of that can help you run Google ads or Facebook or TikTok ads to Amazon, show you all the data and allow you to do retargeting. Um, and that's what everybody should be doing. Everybody should be doing it, but Amazon sellers are sometimes lazy or they just got too much on their plate where they're like, yeah, I want to run Google ads. And I'm like, okay, can we add a pixel in here so that we can
Mhm.
read it in the future? And they're like, I don't have a pixel. I don't have time to make one. I'm like, retargeting is the most efficient way to spend ad dollars.
Right.
Cost
well, and
you
it's funny because we have long conversations with people about, well, how do I get customer data so I can follow up with them later and retarget them later? And so they try to go through all different ways of inserts that aren't TOS compliant or trying to hack customer information from Amazon system. But it's kind of funny that they won't spend a few minutes to add a pixel.
Right.
it's free. It doesn't even cost any money. Like if you get the audience to retarget in the future, you don't have to. You can choose not to. But
Hmm.
if you have, a high LTV item, anything that's reorder or something that maybe is not an impulse purchase, almost every product is worth retargeting. If
Mhm.
somebody already bought the product, they're not going to click on it again. If they haven't bought it, but they're interested, they'll
Hmm.
click on it a second time. You get a second chance to turn that into a sale.
Yeah.
Um,
You kind of answered my question too about what are the main mistakes people make. And you
Yeah.
said, like, as far as you know, Carbon 6, you're the only one taking advantage of some of these angles that you're playing. So are there any other top mistakes? I mean, you don't have to say that your competitors are doing necessarily, but that anyone out there is doing that are resulting in missed sales, headaches, confusion, frustration in
yeah,
terms of, I mean, things just keep getting more competitive every year, right? So you would hope that people would be thinking ahead, but maybe that's one of the mistakes. Maybe they're not thinking ahead.
yeah. There's a few. One being choosing the wrong keywords, right?
Mhm.
People assume because Amazon has a bunch of search volume on this, Google will too. Our software shows you both, right? They'll tell you have this so much Amazon search volume, how much Google. For the strategy for ranking to work, it doesn't matter if Blue Q-tip has a bunch of Amazon search volume. If there's none of that exact match keyword data on Google, you're not going to get any exact match traffic. So
Mhm.
choosing the right keyword is extremely important. I think people make mistakes by going too broad. Broad and phrase match has less of an effect from what we can tell on ranking. So exact match, while it's a little bit more expensive per click, the rank juice it gives you is more than worth it. And then another thing I see people doing is creating Google, similar to Amazon, has all these things they recommend. Oh, we recommend you do this, recommend you do that. If you test, you'll find that when you go against the recommendations, often you can have better results.
Hmm.
And so I think people that aren't familiar with
Interesting.
Google Ads, they tend to create lots of different headlines. But I'll give you an example, like a concrete example of how that can go wrong. So Amazon or Google will tell you if you're selling a hair straightener that they'll say, well, our recommendations are best hair straightener for women, hair straightener for women, hair straightener best, and then they will rotate these things over time. And because those don't all show up, and they will, figure out which one has the highest click through rate. Click through rate can be a red herring where
Yeah.
just because a bunch of people are clicking on it doesn't mean it's converting. So what we found is like pinning headlines is very important and being selective with which headlines you choose. We always present the price. We say hair straightener $99.99. Now, if
Hmm.
somebody's looking for a $30 hair straightener, they're not going to convert and we don't want to waste that click anyways. So we very boldly tell the price. There's a couple other like tips and tricks that we have to not just focus on CTR, but also conversion. And so, yeah, people make mistakes from the wrong keywords to creating poor ads, not retargeting or using pixels, which is a free thing. Those are some of the biggest ones. And then last but not least, I would just say, people try products that, we have enough experience to tell them are very unlikely to work. This isn't a this isn't a solution for poor products. If you have 3.5 stars, you have a fundamental problem with your product and you need to make
Hmm.
changes at your, quality assurance level, right? Like the manufacturing, or you need to listen to reviews. So anytime that something's 3.5 stars or 3.8, the results are very hard to number one rank and to create new profit streams from Google to Amazon. So we reject people. We'll just tell them like, dude, we don't want to waste your money. You're going to be spending money on Google ads. You're not going to rank. It's going to, yeah. So I would just say, generally speaking, people make mistakes by choosing the wrong products, by not using retargeting, and by creating poorly converting ads, as well as choosing the wrong keywords. Those are the most common mistakes I see, but there's huge opportunity for ranking TOS compliantly and external traffic.
Mhm.
It's sending all the right signals to Amazon. Amazon's made it very clear they want all of your traffic, and they're rewarding you disproportionately for sending that to them. So, we work with PixelMe or work with Amazon to build PixelMe. We meet with them twice a
Mhm.
month. Very aware of everything we're doing. Happy to have them as a guide and consultant for all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually very much on track with our focus for our conference this year, Seller Velocity. We're focusing on how you can optimize your performance to drive brand growth rather than just doing more and doing bigger and going to more places. How can you optimize what you're already doing
Yeah.
to do a better job and grow bigger? Because just expanding all of the time and throwing more money at a problem isn't always the right choice.
Right. Efficiency is everything. And it sounds like what you were saying earlier is there are a lot of things that Carbon 6 is doing with PixelMe that offers efficiency levels that you can't get elsewhere. That's kind of the key takeaway I got. So
Yeah. And if you guys are interested, like if anybody watching this is interested, we do a free ASIN audit. So if you say, hey, I'm interested to know if these 2 or 3 or 5 products would be a good fit, we'll tell you. Like we reject ASINs all the time and say,
Mhm.
you're welcome to try this, but we don't recommend it. And we'll give you a scorecard saying like, this is like a home run product or like, this is an awful one or somewhere in between.
Right. Great.
And that's
No, we'll help you get the word out on that.
yeah, awesome.
All right, great. Thanks, Clayton. We appreciate your time today. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. And thanks everyone for listening. Any questions for Clayton? How can they reach you best?
Yeah, my email's Clayton at carbon6, the number 6.io. So Clayton at carbon6.io. And
Cool.
if you want the like free ASIN audit, yeah, I think you can submit up to 4 ASINs right now. I think we're going to increase that as we hire more for more of our research team.
Okay.
But it's pixelme.app, pixelme.app, app.
Cool.
Uh,
We'll include it here in the notes
Yeah,
too.
we'll include the
So
notes as well.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, I hope you guys, take advantage of the free ASIN audit. It's free information. People do, takes probably 25 minutes to do a good research.
Mhm.
Product's done. It's free hour and a half of work. If you decide to move forward with us, great. If not, you got information you can use.
Yeah,
Sweet.
exactly.
All right. Thank you for joining us again. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, Clayton. Anybody has any questions on this, let us know. We're happy to help.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Leah.
Take care.
Cool.
Did we just